Let me take you there because Carson Wentz is facing increased scrutiny after his performance Sunday in Washington when the Eagles blew a 17-point lead. Wentz was sacked a career-high 8 times. And all the conversation is about his tendency of holding onto the football when pressured rather than throwing it away. Here's Carson himself.
I'm pretty aware of it. You know, every case, every specific play is very specific. It's really case by case, and there's a time and a place to fight. There's a time and a place to throw it away. There's a time and a place to just eat it and take the sack.
So that strikes me as a fascinating question as D. Wood jumps into the conversation as well, because holding onto the football too long can be dangerous. But Dominique Foxworth, let me ask you this. What does holding onto the football too long, Donald, equal? Because that's who they see this weekend.
Injuries, trips to the hospital, like Aaron Donald. Look at this monster. Look at that. That is terrifying. And speaking of terrifying, I think there is some value to having a little fear. I think Carson Wentz has been great in part because he is fearless. But you need a little fear in the NFL. When that man, did you see that? When that man's coming for you, it is reasonable to be a little scared and to throw the ball away. Carson Wentz had no throwaways in last week's game against a very impressive defensive line. So I want Carson Wentz to stay Carson Wentz and make the magic that he makes. But in certain situations, it's all right to be a little scared and get that thing out of your hands.
Yeah, because, again, he went up against that Washington D-line, which has the 5 first-round picks. Now he gets that wrecking ball. 2 questions for you, Damien Woody. First of all, I was watching your face as we were watching that film. Cindy, roll it again. D. Wood, just explain, as an offensive lineman, what are we seeing in Aaron Donald as we watch this again?
We're seeing someone made in the lab, a cyborg or something. Like, this is one man is not supposed to be able to throw another grown man around like this. I mean, look at this. These are pins, bowling ball pins going everywhere. And he took Zeke with one hand and threw him in the chest of Dak Prescott. Greeny, this is pro football. It's not supposed to happen. And now, this is what Carson Wentz has to face this week?
Right.
Good luck. I'm glad I'm sitting in studio because I wouldn't want to see that.
Well, we'd have to put all those 92 pounds back on you to have any chance. But seriously, what are you saying? What should someone be saying? What should Carson Wentz be saying to himself after what we saw last week and the expectation going forward?
Well, granted, they have a couple injuries on the offensive line. They got a couple guys that are out for the year. So Carson Wentz has to know, listen, the time in my head has to speed up. I can't hold on to the ball because he's facing some really good defense linemen. Washington has a bunch of first rounders on their defense line. You saw what they did. Now you got the Rams coming. And then some of the other teams that they got coming up in the next 5 games. You have the Rams, the 49ers, Steelers, Ravens, all in the next 5 games.
Yeah.
All of those teams have very good defenses that can get after the quarterback. So everything has to speed up for Carson Wentz moving forward.
Yes, the way their early schedule shapes up, they could get buried quickly. We'll see if the division runs away from them. Shefty, what are you hearing? We all understand there's panic and then there's Philadelphia-level panic. What are you hearing out of Philly after 1 game?
Well, the good thing is that they'll be getting back some reinforcements this week. Lane Johnson is expected to be back in the lineup after missing his regular season opener last week. Miles Sanders is on track to play this week if there are no setbacks. And so if you get back some of these weapons, that helps. Clearly, if you're without 3 different offensive line starters, the way that the Eagles were, you're going to struggle. And the Eagles struggled against the Washington football team on Sunday. This is another brutal matchup for the Eagles, and it just seems like they're behind the 8 ball early on in the season. But all it takes is just 1 win here to stabilize things, quiet the talk, and they're hoping to get some of these players back from injuries this week, which they think they will.
Now, let me circle it back to the beginning, though, Nick, because the conversation really here is, what is Wentz's role in all of this? There's an element of trying to make plays where plays aren't there to be made. Pardon me. He winds up holding onto the ball as a result, trying to play what some people will call hero ball, and it turns into some of these problems. Yes, the O-line is a problem, but these two sort of factor in together. Do you think that's something that needs to be addressed with him?
I guess, but you...
I'm not... Yeah,
Dominique.
I guess that's something that you need to address, but you could lose something in that. And hero ball has bad connotations, but sometimes it's okay to play hero ball if you are capable of being a hero. And Carson Wentz is definitely capable of being a hero. So I would certainly suggest that he curtail some of the hero ball, but you don't want to lose what makes Carson Wentz special. And these are all examples of Carson Wentz trying to be special and falling short. But if you're going to go ahead and try to make Carson Wentz into some sort of game manager, then why have Carson Wentz? He needs to be smart. I agree. He needs to be more judicious with when he tries to make Superman hero ball type plays. But I don't want to lose to Carson Wentz that was an MVP candidate a couple years ago.
That's a very fine line to have to walk. And if Aaron Donald is on the other side of that line, it's a line you might want to stay far away from. All right, we're just getting started here. Lots to come. Coming up, if Bill Belichick wants Cam Newton to make it to week 3, there is something he'd better do in week 2. I have unsolicited advice for the greatest coach ever coming up. Plus, with the big